Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
Now at 5:30, a Pulaski County man's been found arrested and charged with murdering his girlfriend. We'll have the latest updates on the case.
Also on WKYT This Morning, funeral arrangements have now been set for a Scott County father and son who were killed in a car wreck.
A new store is set to open today in downtown Lexington. You'll want to hear all about it. These stories and breaking news as it happens coming up on WKYT This Morning.
Hello there. Good morning. Welcome in. It's good to have you along on this Thursday as we go rolling through the latter part of the work week and toward the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Thanks so much for being here. We'll have more on the story in a few minutes about downtown getting a little more hip, shall we say.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about a new opening down there today, and also construction set to restart on Centerpoint. Right now, let's check in with meteorologist Micah Harris. It's another chilly start to the day, and we still have a few of those lingering showers here and there.
Right. No surprise here, right? I mean, those showers are sticking around. They're not really moving on out. We're trying to push them out for you, but they just won't move. Now, give it time. We'll kind of move these things on out as we head throughout the evening and night. Tomorrow looks fantastic. Today, not so much. We're looking for scattered showers out and about. Most of this is going to be light activity. You could get some moderate rain falling across the way. I think the most you can expect out of this, for the most part, is right there around 1/4 of an inch. So most of us staying well below that. Going in toward the afternoon, that cool rain sticks around, but it does slowly but surely work its way on out. Only a small chance there during the evening hours and overnight into tomorrow morning. We finally clear some things on out. It'll be chilly there in the mid-40s, but let me tell you this. That's actually kind of warm compared to what our overnight lows will be for the weekend. Could we be seeing freezing temperatures? Show you that coming up.
All right. Well, the sun will come out tomorrow. All right. Thank you. Let's get to the news.
New this morning, police have found and arrested a man in connection with the murder of a Pulaski County woman.
Police arrested Johnny Hendricks late last night without incident at a home in Leslie County. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is at our live desk this morning with the latest developments in the case. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning. Authorities were able to track down the victim's boyfriend at a home in Leslie County, but police are still searching for another man who may have witnessed the attack. Monica Wells went missing Tuesday, and immediately her family suspected that her boyfriend, Johnny Hendricks, had seriously injured or killed her. Yesterday, their suspicions were confirmed when Wells' body was found uncovered in a sinkhole about 12 feet deep, a short distance away from her Providence Road home. Authorities say Hendricks and Wells got into a violent argument on Tuesday in front of Wells' 8-year-old son. She went missing shortly after that assault. Deputies believe Hendricks killed Wells and then brought her body on a four-wheeler from the home to the sinkhole. Now, anyone with information about his whereabouts should call the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office. At the live desk, Whitney Wetzel, back to you.
Whitney, thank you. A former Central Kentucky assistant principal has been arrested on charges that she sexually abused a student. Police arrested Joy Hayes. She was once an assistant principal at Lexington Traditional Magnet School and at Madison Southern High School. At Madison Southern, police say Hayes met the teenager that she's accused of sexually abusing. Police say she also stalked and harassed one of the teenager's friends. When Berea police pulled her over on Tuesday morning, they say the teen she had sexually abused was in the car with her.
She had convinced her to sneak out of the home and come with her.
Most recently, Hayes worked for the Gear Up program at Berea College, but the college fired her last month after learning of the stalking case.
A Madison County woman is scheduled to be sentenced today after pleading guilty to smothering her baby sister. She pleaded guilty to manslaughter back in last August. She was 17 when she killed her sister in Richmond last summer. She told the judge she got frustrated with the baby and held down the head, smothering her. Prosecutors recommended a 12-year prison sentence because it's a violent crime. Markham would have to serve at least 10 years if given that sentence.
An Owingsville man accused of killing a Grant County teacher will be in court today for a preliminary hearing. Kevin Howard was arrested last week here in Lexington and charged with killing Randall Russ. Police also arrested Charles Black and charged him with murder in that case. Russ's body was found in Fleming County about a week before Howard's arrest. State police are now trying to figure out if Howard is connected to another missing persons case. Norma Brown's family says she has been missing for weeks and was last seen with Howard.
The family of a Scott County father and son killed in a car crash will lay them to rest this weekend. The family of Trevor Wade Spencer and his son Skylar Wade Spencer tells us their funeral will be this Saturday. It will be held at the Tucker Yoakum Wilson Funeral Home in Georgetown. Services will start with the visitation from 10 in the morning until noon. The funeral right after that. The Spencers were killed in a car crash back on October 7th when a storm caused another driver to hit their vehicle head-on in Scott County. Spencer, his son, and the driver of the vehicle died in the wreck.
It's 5:34 now on WKYT this morning. Lexington police have arrested a man who they say led them on a chase in a stolen car. Police arrested 19-year-old Jaleel Robinson for stealing a car, having cocaine and marijuana, and fleeing from the police. An officer says he was flagged down by the car's owner, only to have Robinson come barreling at him driving the stolen car. He briefly lost sight of the vehicle, but later found it wrecked out on the side of a home on West 6th Street. Robinson was found a street over with crack cocaine and a bag of marijuana.
Well, new this morning, we have learned that 2 schools in a school district outside of suburban Cleveland are closed today as a precaution because one of their staffers traveled home from Dallas on Tuesday on what may have been the same aircraft as the latest Ebola patient, that nurse named Amber Vinson. The school said that while they think what health officials say about the transmission of the virus, they are taking extra precautions and disinfecting the schools.
And locally, doctors at UK say that they are prepared if someone is diagnosed with Ebola while being treated there. The hospital is putting more emphasis on asking patients who have traveled over the last 3 weeks where they've been, and doctors say anyone suspected of having Ebola would be isolated quickly. Any staff member around an Ebola patient would wear bodysuits, and they would be trained on how to wear those suits.
The important thing is, putting on the equipment, but most importantly, taking it off, and that does require special training.
Doctors say they have hundreds of bodysuits ready to go for the staff, and more have been ordered.
To combat Ebola abroad, the BBC announced it's created a phone app to update those in West Africa on the latest Ebola news. The service is through WhatsApp, a message application. People can get audio, text, or image alerts in English or French. The app is the most popular chat app in Africa.
The parents of a former UK football player who was injured in a fall have started a fund to help pay for his medical bills. Brad Durham fell from the upper deck of Commonwealth Stadium during the South Carolina game earlier this month, and he is still being treated at UK Hospital and is listed now in fair condition. The Brad Durham donation account has been set up at Central Bank. His parents hope that Durham will be able to be transferred to Cardinal Hill Rehabilitation Hospital at some point later this week.
Well, former Secretary of State and First Lady Hillary Clinton was in Louisville to show her support and campaign for Kentucky Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes. More than 4,500 people came out to the Kentucky International Convention Center to see both of them. Many attendees said Grimes would be a breath of fresh air for Kentucky and that Kentucky had enough of Mitch McConnell. But Senator Mitch McConnell has said Kentucky would be giving up a lot of influence in Washington if he's denied a 6th term in office. He's currently the Senate Minority Leader. If elected, Grimes would be the first female Kentucky U.S. Senator. And
Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes may have raised more money than the incumbent Senator Mitch McConnell during this fundraising quarter, but McConnell still has a cash advantage. Grimes' campaign announced that she raised nearly $5 million for the final days leading up to the election, while McConnell only raised around $3 million. But McConnell's campaign says he has $5.2 million in cash on hand, while Grimes only has $4.4 million. Both have shattered state fundraising records throughout their campaigns.
After a recent bout of storms in central Kentucky, the Better Business Bureau warning victims to be careful when choosing repair services so you won't be a victim, right? The BBB, Scott County officials, and Georgetown's mayor are hosting an event to alert people there. It'll be today at 10 in the morning at the Scott County Courthouse in Georgetown. They say there are many out-of-town contractors in the area, so they want to let people know who's legitimate and who is not. They will be announcing a BBB accredited businesses and contractors at this event.
This week is Earthquake Preparedness Week, and over 250,000 people and groups are taking part in earthquake drills today. The Great Central U.S. Shakeout is geared at helping people practice for a possible earthquake. It'll be at 10:16 this morning. Officials say Kentucky is impacted by 2 earthquake fault areas, one in southern Illinois and Indiana, and that's the New Madrid earthquake zone, and that other one. And if you want to register for the Shakeout, you can go to www.shakeout.org. More information there about that. And just have to practice, you know, be ready for the real thing. Well, just in time for the holiday shopping season, some folks getting in practice for that, a popular store is set to open today in downtown Lexington.
And that one is Urban Outfitters, which will be opening up at the Square across from Triangle Park downtown. WKYT's Mark Barber is live from the location to tell us about the big opening. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Bill and Rebecca. Urban Outfitters is opening in about 4.5 hours here in downtown, and city leaders are hoping that with the new stores that are opening here in the redeveloped square, it will bring a much younger crowd and a lot more energy to downtown Lexington. Now, the new clothing store chain on Main Street is opening across from Triangle Park, where Deshays used to be. Several other stores are also planning to open their doors in the square in time for the holiday season. Big Blue Nation fan gear store, Alumni Hall, is coming soon, as well as Tony's Steak and Seafood, an upscale Cincinnati restaurant with a house band. Pies and Pints, a craft pizza and beer restaurant, is also opening in the square. Now, while some people we spoke with say they are glad new businesses are coming downtown, they tell us they don't want to see the mom and pop stores leave. Now, the developer behind the square says changes are also coming to another downtown project this week. Dudley Webb tells us they are bringing in a large crane to continue construction on the Center Point parking garage between South Upper Street and South Limestone. We're told that that crane is scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, there's a lot happening in downtown Lexington. Thank you, Mark. It's 5:40 now on WKYT, and time to check live drive traffic this morning and see what is happening. We noticed, obviously, some light showers there in that live shot, and there again appears that wet pavement out on the road. Nicholasville and Alumni right now.
Amazing how things change in just a couple of hours.
That's right. Roads are clear with no reports of any trouble. Maybe some light fog in some areas this morning. We'll be watching that as it rolls in over the next couple of hours or so. And Officer Don will be along in just a few minutes. He'll get us up to date on what's happening ahead of the morning rush. And it's so good to have you with us here on this Thursday morning on WKYT.
And the true spirit of the fall season, a zoo is giving its residents, shall we say, some Halloween treats. Looks pretty cool.
And we're looking outside, holding on to those scattered showers once again today. When do we move this stuff on out? We got to get it on out of here, and I'll show you when that happens. Coming up next.